if you look at the macroeconomic indicators, you see that African countries are not significantly affected. And I think that's because of the things that Africa has been doing by the last several crises. I think we learned from COVID the importance of not being too dependent on the global economy. So African countries started taking a lot of steps ahead of time. And that's made us very, very resilient. So when this crisis kicked in, for example, the crisis would have hit us two major issues. One was oil, the other was fertilizer. But when you now have a system where a Dangote refinery was created to process crude oil and to supply Nigeria and many other African countries. So when the Strait of Hormuz was blocked and they couldn't get oil that ordinarily would import into Nigeria, but then Dangote refinery could supply many of the separate economy, reducing the impact on the country. Same thing with fertilizer, the fertilizer production plant. So these kinds of and then macroeconomic um, marketable stability, African countries that have already started trading more with themselves. So they're less dependent on non-African countries. They're investing more with themselves. It's still a long way to go, but a lot of them have started. So that reduced the impact of the current crisis in Africa. Now, I'm not saying it was not impact at all, but it hit Africa is a lot less than many of the more developed countries which are more integrated. Ironically, Africa is only 3% of global trade, about 3% of foreign direct investment. And that little fraction that used to be a problem, but actually was now ended up with a strength.